Close your eyes and listen, not to my voice, but to the silence. For 150 million years, this silence was filled with sounds we can only imagine. Tonight, we journey back to hear the whispers of a lost world, the world of the dinosaurs. Let your mind drift, leaving the modern world behind. We are traveling back, through the mists of time, to a greener, wilder Earth. Let each fact be a gentle footstep into this ancient kingdom. Fact 1. The word dinosaur itself is a whisper from the past. It comes from two Greek words, deinos, meaning terrible, and sauros, meaning lizard. The name was coined in 1842 by Sir Richard Owen, but as you drift deeper into their world, you might find terrible doesn't quite fit. Perhaps a better translation is fearfully great. These weren't just lizards, they were magnificent, awesome beings, ruling a world we can now only visit in dreams. Fact 2. The age of dinosaurs, the Mesozoic Era, was not one long, unchanging period. It was a vast epic, told in 3 chapters. The first was the Triassic, a time of recovery and new beginnings, where the first small dinosaurs appeared. Then came the Jurassic, a lush, green world where giants like Brachiosaurus peacefully browsed the treetops. Finally, the Cretaceous, a vibrant and diverse age, where iconic dinosaurs like Triceratops and the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex played out their final acts. They did not all live at the same time. Stegosaurus was long gone before T-Rex ever walked the Earth. Fact 3. When you imagine a dinosaur, your mind might conjure images of colossal giants. And while there were titans that made the ground tremble, not all dinosaurs were enormous. The smallest known dinosaur, Compsognathus, was a nimble creature about the size of a chicken. Imagine it, darting through the undergrowth of a Jurassic forest, a tiny, feathered hunter in a world of giants, a quiet reminder that life thrives in all sizes. Fact 4. The sheer length of the dinosaurs' reign is almost impossible to comprehend. They walked the Earth for about 175 million years. To put that into perspective, our own species, Homo sapiens, has been here for only about 300,000 years. The time separating the Stegosaurus from the Tyrannosaurus is greater than the time separating the Tyrannosaurus from you, right now, resting peacefully. Theirs was an empire of time itself. Fact 5. A comforting thought as you drift. The dinosaurs are not entirely gone. One lineage not only survived the Great Extinction but thrived. If you've ever watched a bird outside your window or heard its song at dawn, you have seen a living dinosaur. Modern birds are the direct descendants of a group of feathered theropod dinosaurs, making them a constant, living connection to this ancient, lost world. Fact 6. The very first dinosaur to be officially named and described was not T-Rex or Triceratops, but Megalosaurus, the great lizard. Its fossilized jawbone was discovered in England in the 17th century but was thought to belong to a giant human. It wasn't until 1824 that William Buckland correctly identified it as a giant, extinct reptile, opening the very first chapter in our long, quiet quest to understand these creatures. Fact 7. The family tree of the dinosaurs is vast and beautiful. They are split into 2 main groups based on the structure of their hips. The Saurischia, or lizard-hip dinosaurs, include the 2-legged carnivores like T-Rex and the long-necked, plant-eating sauropods. The Ornithischia, or bird-hip dinosaurs, were all herbivores, and include famous names like Stegosaurus, Triceratops, and the armored Ankylosaurus. 2 great dynasties, sharing one ancient world. Fact 8. The sky during the Mesozoic Era was filled with incredible flying creatures called pterosaurs. But here is a gentle secret. They were not dinosaurs. They were a separate, related group of flying reptiles. From the small, nimble Pterodactylus to the colossal Quetzalcoatlus, which had a wingspan like a small airplane, they soared on leathery wings through the prehistoric skies, casting silent shadows on the world below. Fact 9. Similarly, the deep, mysterious oceans of that time were home to magnificent marine reptiles. Creatures like the long-necked Plesiosaurus and the powerful, dolphin-like Ichthyosaurus were the rulers of the ancient seas. But they, too, were not dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were, by definition, land-dwelling animals. The oceans and skies belonged to their equally wondrous cousins. Fact 10. The long-necked sauropods, like Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus, were the largest land animals to have ever lived. The true titan was Argentinosaurus, which may have reached over 100 feet long and weighed up to 100 tons. Imagine the slow, rhythmic sound of its footsteps, a deep, earth-shaking beat. Imagine its peaceful, quiet life, spent slowly moving through ancient forests, a walking mountain of life. Fact 11. How did these giants get so big? Their size was a marvel of biological engineering. They had lightweight, hollow bones, similar to modern birds, which reduced their overall weight. They also had incredibly efficient respiratory systems with air sacs that allowed them to process vast amounts of oxygen. They didn't chew their food but swallowed it whole, letting stones in their stomachs called gastroliths do the grinding, saving precious energy. Fact 12. The iconic plates along the back of the Stegosaurus were not for armor. They were thin and filled with blood vessels. Paleontologists believe they were used for display, to attract a mate, or as a form of radiator. Imagine a Stegosaurus on a cool morning, turning its back to the sun, its plates slowly warming in the gentle light, a peaceful giant regulating its own inner world. Fact 13. The fearsome-looking Triceratops, with its 3 horns and massive frill, was a powerful herbivore. Its frill was not just for defense, it also served as an anchor for immense jaw muscles, giving it an incredibly strong bite. It could slice through tough, fibrous plants like cycads with ease. Its horns and frill were also likely used in ritual combat with other Triceratops, a silent dance for dominance under the Cretaceous sun. Fact 14. The mighty Tyrannosaurus rex had the most powerful bite of any land animal that has ever lived. Its force was strong enough to crush bone, a feat few predators can manage. But despite its power, the T-Rex had surprisingly small arms, only about 3 feet long. Their purpose is still a mystery. Perhaps they were used to hold onto struggling prey, or to help the massive animal push itself up from a resting position on the ground. A small puzzle on a colossal predator. Fact 15. The idea of dinosaurs as dull, grey, or green creatures is a relic of old paintings. Fossil discoveries of skin impressions and preserved feather pigments tell a different story. Many dinosaurs, especially the feathered ones, were likely very colorful. Imagine a forest filled not with drab lizards, but with creatures adorned in vibrant patterns of red, blue, and iridescent sheens, using color for camouflage, communication, and beautiful displays. Fact 16. For a long time, dinosaurs were thought to be cold-blooded, slow, and sluggish like modern reptiles. But a growing body of evidence suggests that many, if not all, were warm-blooded, or something in between. Their fast growth rates, active lifestyles, and bird-like bone structures all point to creatures with a higher metabolism, capable of great speed and endurance. Fact 17. A dinosaur known as Spinosaurus was even larger than T-Rex and lived a very different life. It was semi-aquatic, spending much of its time in the rivers of North Africa. It had a long, crocodile-like snout for catching fish, dense bones to help with buoyancy, and a massive sail on its back that may have been used for display as it moved silently through the water. It was a dinosaur that walked in 2 worlds, land and water. Fact 18. The armored Ankylosaurus has been called a living tank, and for good reason. Its body was covered in thick, bony plates called osteoderms, and its tail ended in a massive, heavy club of bone. This club was a formidable weapon, capable of shattering the leg bones of an attacking T-Rex with a single, well-aimed swing. A slow-moving but incredibly well-defended fortress of nature. Fact 19. The dome-headed dinosaurs, the Pachycephaloses, had skulls that were incredibly thick, up to 9 inches of solid bone. It was long thought that they used these reinforced heads for battering each other in headbutting contests, like modern bighorn sheep. While this is still debated, the image of these creatures engaging in such ritual combat is a powerful one, their silent clashes echoing through the ancient hills. Fact 20. Not all dinosaurs were solitary. Many, especially the herbivores, lived in large herds. Fossil trackways show the footprints of dozens of sauropods traveling together, with the larger adults on the outside and the smaller, younger ones protected in the middle. It paints a picture of a complex social world, of families and communities moving peacefully across the vast prehistoric plains. Fact 21. We know about dinosaur nests and eggs thanks to incredible fossil finds. A dinosaur called Maiasaura, whose name means good mother lizard, was discovered in a massive nesting colony in Montana. The discovery showed that these dinosaurs returned to the same place year after year to lay their eggs and raise their young, providing the first clear evidence of parental care among dinosaurs. Fact 22. Dinosaur eggs came in all shapes and sizes. Sauropod eggs were often large and spherical, like cannonballs, while theropod eggs, like those of Oviraptor, were elongated and laid in careful, circular patterns within the nest. The colors varied too, with fossil pigments revealing that some eggs were a beautiful shade of blue-green, much like a modern robin's egg, providing camouflage in the dappled light of the nest. Fact 23. One of the most misunderstood dinosaurs is Oviraptor, which means egg thief. The first fossil was found on top of a nest of what were thought to be Protoceratops eggs, so it was assumed it was stealing them. But decades later, an embryo was found inside one of those same eggs, and it was the embryo of an Oviraptor. The faithful parent wasn't stealing the eggs, it was protecting its own nest, a quiet parent, frozen in time. Fact 24. The dinosaurs of the Triassic period were generally much smaller than their later Jurassic and Cretaceous cousins. At the start of their reign, they were not the dominant animals on Earth. They shared the world with giant crocodile-like reptiles and other strange creatures. It was only after a major extinction event at the end of the Triassic that the dinosaurs truly rose to power, inheriting a world that would be theirs for over 100 million years. Fact 25. The group of dinosaurs known as hadrosaurs, or the duck-billed dinosaurs, had some of the most unique features. They possessed large, hollow crests on their heads, all connected to their nasal passages. It's believed they could force air through these crests to produce deep, resonant sounds, like a trombone. Imagine a herd of Parasaurolophus at twilight, their low, haunting calls echoing across the valley, a peaceful, prehistoric symphony. Fact 26. The intelligence of a dinosaur is difficult to measure, but we can get clues from its brain-to-body size ratio. The large herbivores like sauropods had very small brains for their massive bodies. In contrast, the carnivorous theropods, especially smaller ones like Troodon, had much larger brains. Troodon is often considered one of the smartest dinosaurs, with intelligence comparable to that of a modern bird, like an emu or an ostrich. Fact 27. Dinosaurs didn't just live in lush jungles. They were incredibly adaptable and lived all over the world, from the poles to the equator. Fossils have been found on every single continent, including Antarctica. During the Mesozoic, Antarctica was closer to the equator and covered in forests, but it still experienced cold temperatures and months of darkness in the winter. Dinosaurs like the small herbivore Maiasaura were adapted to this polar life, with large eyes to see in the low light. Fact 28. The dinosaurs known as raptors, like Velociraptor, were not the large, scaly creatures seen in movies. The real Velociraptor was about the size of a turkey and was covered in feathers. Its most famous feature was the large, sickle-shaped claw on each foot. This claw was not for slashing, but was likely used as a climbing tool or to pin down small prey, much like a modern hawk or eagle. Fact 29. The air the dinosaurs breathed was different from our own. During much of the Mesozoic era, oxygen levels were significantly higher, perhaps as much as 35% compared to our 21% today. This oxygen-rich atmosphere may have been a key factor in allowing dinosaurs, especially the sauropods, to reach such colossal sizes. It would have fueled their high-energy metabolisms and supported their massive bodies. Fact 30. The world itself looked different. The continents were not in their current positions. Early in the age of dinosaurs, most of the Earth's landmass was joined together in a single supercontinent called Pangaea. This is why similar dinosaur fossils can be found in places that are now separated by vast oceans, like South America and Africa. Over millions of years, this supercontinent slowly drifted apart, its quiet journey shaping the world we know today. Fact 31. A dinosaur's lifespan varied greatly depending on its size. Small dinosaurs might have lived for only a few years, much like modern birds. The giant sauropods, however, are thought to have lived for a very long time. By studying the growth rings in their fossilized bones, much like the rings of a tree, scientists estimate they could have lived for 80 to 100 years, or perhaps even longer. Slow, gentle lives for slow, gentle giants. Fact 32. Some dinosaurs had a surprising number of teeth. Wild T-Rex had about 60 large, banana-sized teeth, the duck-billed hadrosaurs had thousands of smaller teeth packed together into dental batteries. These were perfect for grinding down tough plant material. As their teeth wore down, new ones were constantly growing in to replace them, giving them a perpetually sharp grinding surface. Fact 33. The dinosaur Therizinosaurus is one of the strangest creatures known to science. It was a large theropod, but it was a plant eater. Its most bizarre feature was its enormous claws. Each of the 3 claws on its hands was up to 3 feet long, the longest claws of any animal in history. It's believed these were not for fighting, but for pulling down high branches to eat the leaves, a peaceful giant with fearsome-looking tools. Fact 34. Fossilized footprints, known as trackways, give us a glimpse into the daily lives of dinosaurs. They can tell us how fast a dinosaur was moving, whether it was walking or running, and whether it was traveling alone or in a group. They are a frozen moment in time, a quiet story written in the ancient mud. One famous trackway in Texas shows a large carnivore appearing to stalk a herd of sauropods along a riverbank. Fact 35. You may have heard of the Jurassic Park fantasy of cloning a dinosaur from ancient DNA. Unfortunately, this will likely remain a fantasy. DNA is a very fragile molecule and breaks down over time. Scientists believe it has a half-life of just over 500 years. The last dinosaurs died out 66 million years ago, so any DNA they had would be completely degraded by now, leaving their stories to be told only by the silent stones. Fact 36. The idea that all dinosaurs were roaring monsters is likely a myth. The sounds they made are a complete mystery, as voice boxes are made of soft tissue and do not fossilize. However, by looking at their closest living relatives, birds and crocodiles, we can make some gentle guesses. Large dinosaurs may have produced deep, rumbling, low-frequency sounds, more like a vibration you would feel than a sound you would hear. Others, like the crested hadrosaurs, may have produced melodic, horn-like calls. Fact 37. There was a group of dinosaurs known as the ornithomimids, or bird mimics, because they looked remarkably like modern ostriches. Dinosaurs like Gallimimus were built for speed, with long legs, slender bodies, and toothless beaks. They were some of the fastest dinosaurs, capable of running at speeds of up to 40 or 50 miles per hour, gracefully racing across the Cretaceous plains. Fact 38. The skin of a dinosaur was not always scaly. While we have fossil impressions of scaly skin from many species, we now know that a huge number of them, especially theropods, had feathers. These feathers likely evolved first for insulation, to keep the animals warm, and only later were they adapted for display and then, in the lineage leading to birds, for flight. Imagine a young T-Rex, not as a scaly monster, but covered in a soft, downy coat of feathers. Fact 39. The dinosaur with the longest name is Micropachycephalosaurus, which means tiny thick-headed lizard. Despite its very long name, the dinosaur itself was very small, only about 3 feet in length. It's a gentle, humorous reminder that in the world of paleontology, sometimes the grandest names belong to the most humble of creatures. Fact 40. The colors of the prehistoric world were different. While the plants were mostly green, there were no flowering plants for the first 2/3 of the dinosaur's reign. The landscapes of the Triassic and Jurassic were dominated by ferns, cycads, and conifers. It was only in the Cretaceous period that flowers appeared, bringing new colors and new sources of food to the ancient world, a quiet, beautiful revolution. Fact 41. The giant sauropods had incredibly long necks. The neck of a Maiasaurus could be over 30 feet long, longer than a telephone pole. For a long time, it was a mystery how they could hold such a massive structure up. The secret was again in their lightweight, hollow vertebrae, which were intricately structured with air sacs, creating a neck that was both incredibly long and surprisingly light for its size. Fact 42. Dinosaurus, whose name means terrible hand, was a mystery for 50 years. 4 decades, all that was known of it were 2 gigantic, 8-foot-long arms with fearsome claws, discovered in the Gobi Desert. No one knew what the rest of the animal looked like. It was only recently that a more complete skeleton was found, revealing a bizarre, hunchbacked, duck-billed giant that was one of the strangest dinosaurs ever discovered. A puzzle slowly, peacefully solved by time. Fact 43. Some dinosaurs may have been nocturnal. The large eye sockets on certain small theropods, like Trudon, suggest they had excellent night vision. This would have allowed them to hunt at night, avoiding the larger predators of the day and finding small mammals and lizards that were active in the cool, quiet darkness. The prehistoric world had a life that continued long after the sun went down. Fact 44. Gastroliths, or stomach stones, were used by many large herbivores to help them digest their food. These dinosaurs would swallow large, smooth stones, which would then stay in a muscular part of their stomach, called a gizzard. The stones would grind against each other, breaking down the tough plant matter that the dinosaur couldn't chew. These stones, polished by their long, slow journey, are sometimes found with dinosaur skeletons. Fact 45. The name Carnotaurus means meat-eating bull, and it was a fitting name. This strange predator had two prominent horns above its eyes, much like a bull. It also had incredibly tiny, almost useless arms, even smaller in proportion than those of T-Rex. Its skull, however, was short and deep, built for quick, powerful bites. A truly unique and formidable hunter of the southern continents. Fact 46. The extinction of the dinosaurs was not the only mass extinction in Earth's history. It was the fifth of the so-called Big Five. The most devastating one was the Permian-Triassic extinction, which happened before the dinosaurs, and wiped out over 90% of all life on Earth. The dinosaurs arose from the ashes of this event, a testament to life's incredible ability to recover and find new forms. Fact 47. We can estimate the weight of a dinosaur by creating 3D models of their skeletons and calculating the volume. By estimating the density of their tissues, bone, muscle, and air sacs, scientists can arrive at a surprisingly accurate weight. It's a form of reverse engineering, using the quiet clues of the bones to reconstruct a living, breathing creature in our minds. Fact 48. The giant asteroid that led to the dinosaurs' extinction struck the Earth in what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The impact created the Chicxulub crater, which is over 100 miles wide. The energy released was more than 1 billion times that of an atomic bomb, triggering a global firestorm, colossal tsunamis, and a long, dark impact winter that changed the world forever. Fact 49. The asteroid impact was the final blow, but the dinosaurs may have already been in decline. In the late Cretaceous, there was a period of intense volcanic activity in an area known as the Deccan Traps in India. This released enormous amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, causing rapid climate change and stressing the global ecosystem. The world was already changing when the final, devastating visitor arrived from the stars. Fact 50. Not all dinosaurs died out in the extinction event. We know that the avian dinosaurs, the birds, survived. But it's also believed that some small, non-avian dinosaurs in certain parts of the world may have clung to life for thousands of years after the impact, living in isolated refuges before they too finally succumbed to the changed world. Small, fading whispers in the new silence. Fact 51. The first discoveries of dinosaur fossils in North America were part of a great scientific rivalry in the late 19th century known as the Bone Wars. Two paleontologists, Othniel Charles Marsh and Edward Drinker Cope, engaged in a frantic and often bitter competition to discover and name more species than the other. Their rivalry was fierce, but it led to the discovery of over 140 new species and brought the magnificent dinosaurs of the American West to the world's attention. Fact 52. A coprolite is the scientific name for fossilized dinosaur droppings. As humble as they may seem, they are incredibly valuable to scientists. By studying coprolites, paleontologists can learn directly what a dinosaur ate, whether it was plants, bones, or insects. It's a direct window into the diet and digestive system of an animal that lived millions of years ago. Fact 53. A dinosaur's posture changed as it grew. A young Diplodocus, for example, may have been able to run on 2 legs, while the massive, heavy adult was restricted to a slow, 4-legged walk. This change in lifestyle meant that young and old dinosaurs of the same species might have eaten different foods and lived in different parts of the environment, avoiding competition with each other. Fact 54. The study of dinosaur diseases is called paleopathology. By examining their fossilized bones, scientists can find evidence of injuries and illnesses. They have found healed fractures, signs of arthritis in older dinosaurs, and even evidence of cancerous tumors. It gives us a compassionate glimpse into the real lives and struggles of these ancient animals. Fact 55. Dreadnoughtus, a massive titanosaur, has one of the most confident names in the dinosaur kingdom. Its name means fears nothing. It was so enormous, over 85 feet long and weighing 65 tons, that a healthy adult would have had no natural predators. It was a peaceful, plant-eating giant that, by virtue of its sheer size, was the undisputed king of its world. Fact 56. Many dinosaur fossils are found in what are called bone beds, large, jumbled deposits of bones from many different individuals. These are often the result of a natural disaster, like a flash flood or a drought, that killed a large herd of dinosaurs in one place. They are sad, silent monuments to a moment of crisis in the deep past. Fact 57. For a long time, it was assumed that sauropods, with their huge bodies, must have lived in swamps to support their weight. We now know this is incorrect. Their strong, pillar-like legs were perfectly capable of supporting them on dry land. Their fossilized trackways are almost always found in terrestrial environments, painting a picture of these giants moving peacefully across ancient plains and through forests, not wallowing in swamps. Fact 58. Some dinosaurs had feathers that were not for flight. The theropod Maiasaura had two types of feathers, a soft, downy coat for warmth, and long, single filaments that stuck out from its body. These longer feathers may have been used for display, like the quills of a porcupine, a soft and striking decoration on a very unusual animal. Fact 59. The speed of a dinosaur can be calculated from its fossilized footprints. By measuring the distance between the steps, the length of the leg, and the size of the foot, scientists can use a simple formula to estimate how fast the animal was moving when it made the tracks. Most trackways show dinosaurs walking at a slow, leisurely pace. Fact 60. The brain of a Stegosaurus was famously small, only about the size of a walnut. For an animal that was 30 feet long, this is incredibly tiny. However, it had a large cavity in its hip region, which led to an old, now disproven theory that it had a second brain in its tail to control its back legs. In reality, this space likely held a glycogen body, an energy store found in modern birds. Fact 61. The dinosaur Maiasaura had one of the most unusual skulls of any animal. Its mouth was shaped like a wide, straight vacuum cleaner attachment, and it was lined with over 500 tiny, needle-like teeth. It was a low-level browser, using its unique mouth to graze on ferns and other small plants close to the ground, a specialized and gentle gardener of the Cretaceous. Fact 62. Dinosaur fossils are most often found in sedimentary rock, like sandstone, mudstone, or shale. These rocks were formed from the slow accumulation of sand, mud, and silt at the bottom of ancient rivers, lakes, and seas. An animal that died near the water had the best chance of being quickly buried by this sediment, protecting its bones from scavengers and decay, allowing them to begin their long, quiet journey to becoming a fossil. Fact 63. It is very rare to find a complete dinosaur skeleton. Most fossils we find are isolated bones or partial skeletons. The famous skeletons you see in museums are often composites, sometimes made from the bones of several different individuals, with missing pieces sculpted to complete the picture. Each complete skeleton is a priceless, miraculous treasure. Fact 64. The giant carnivores like T-Rex may not have been purely hunters. Many paleontologists believe they were also opportunistic scavengers. An animal that large would not have passed up the opportunity for a free meal from a carcass it found. Its incredible sense of smell, indicated by a large olfactory lobe in its brain, would have helped it detect carrion from miles away. Fact 65. The smallest dinosaur eggs ever found are only about an inch long. They are so small and delicate that it's a wonder they survived to be fossilized at all. They belong to tiny dinosaurs that would have been small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, a quiet reminder of the gentle, delicate side of the dinosaur world. Fact 66. The group of armored dinosaurs called nodosaurs was similar to Ankylosaurs, but they had one key difference: they didn't have a tail club. Instead, they were often covered in large, sharp spines along their sides and shoulders for defense. A recently discovered nodosaur fossil from Canada was so perfectly preserved that it still had its skin and armor intact, a true mummy from the age of dinosaurs. Fact 67. Dinosaurs may have seen the world in more colors than we do. Birds and many modern reptiles can see ultraviolet light, which is invisible to humans. It's very likely that their dinosaur ancestors also had this ability. This means the world of the dinosaurs may have been filled with patterns and colors on flowers, feathers, and skin that we can only dream of. Fact 68. Some dinosaurs were diggers. The small herbivore Orictodromeus, whose name means digging runner, was found in a fossilized burrow it had dug underground. It likely used its burrow to raise its young and to escape from predators and the heat of the day. A small, quiet creature making a safe home for itself beneath the earth. Fact 69. The positions of the continents had a major effect on dinosaur evolution. As Pangaea broke apart, different dinosaur populations became isolated on their new island continents. This led to them evolving in unique and wonderful ways. This is why the dinosaurs of the southern continents, like Giganotosaurus and Carnotaurus, were so different from their northern cousins like T-Rex. Fact 70. The length of a day was shorter during the Mesozoic Era. The Earth's rotation has been slowly slowing down over hundreds of millions of years due to the gravitational pull of the moon. During the age of dinosaurs, a day was about 23 hours long. The years had more days, but the seasons passed just the same. Fact 71. The sounds of the prehistoric world would have been dominated by the hum of insects. Dragonflies with wingspans of over 2 feet soared through the air, and the quiet buzz of countless smaller insects would have been the constant background noise of the Mesozoic. It was into this gentle hum that the calls and footsteps of the dinosaurs were woven. Fact 72. A dinosaur's teeth can tell us a great deal about its life. By looking at microscopic scratches on the tooth surface, scientists can determine what kind of food it ate and how it ate it. Vertical scratches might suggest biting and pulling, while horizontal scratches could indicate a side-to-side grinding motion. Tiny clues that tell a detailed story. Fact 73. The largest known dinosaur footprint is over 3 feet wide. It was found in Australia and belongs to a giant sauropod. Imagine standing inside the footprint of a creature that passed by over 90 million years ago, a tangible connection to the immense scale of life in the ancient world. Fact 74. Some dinosaurs had feathers that formed wing-like structures on both their arms and their legs. Microraptor, a small, 4-winged dinosaur, was likely a glider, using its feathered limbs to drift from tree to tree in the ancient forests of China. It was a crucial step in the long, evolutionary journey towards powered flight. Fact 75. The plants that dinosaurs ate were not as nutritious as modern plants. Grasses, which are a major food source for herbivores today, did not exist for most of the dinosaur era. This is one reason why the large herbivores had to eat such enormous quantities of food all day long, just to get enough energy to survive. Their lives were a slow, continuous, and peaceful search for food. Fact 76. The dinosaur Giganotosaurus, a carnivore from South America, was slightly larger than T-Rex, but its bite was much weaker. Its skull was long and narrow, more like a knife than a sledgehammer. It likely hunted the giant titanosaurs of its time, using its sharp teeth to inflict deep, bleeding wounds, a different style of hunting for a different kind of prey. Fact 77. There is a fossil site in China, known as the dinosaur Pompeii, where numerous dinosaurs were killed and instantly buried by a volcanic eruption. The fossils are exquisitely preserved, showing animals in their final life poses, some curled up as if they were sleeping. It is a sad but beautiful window into a single, tragic moment, 125 million years ago. Fact 78. The concept of dinosaur family life is a growing area of research. A fossil discovery in the Gobi Desert found a group of young Pinacosaurus, an ankylosaur, huddled together. It's believed they were traveling as a juvenile pack, perhaps for safety, after leaving the nest. It's a gentle image of young dinosaurs sticking together in a dangerous world. Fact 79. The iguanodon was the second dinosaur ever to be named. For a long time, the sharp spike on its thumb was mistakenly placed on its nose by early paleontologists. We now know this spike was a formidable defensive weapon, a quiet but effective tool for a peaceful herbivore. Fact 80. The air sacs in a dinosaur's body did more than just help with breathing, they also helped to cool them down. A large dinosaur would generate a tremendous amount of internal heat. This system of air sacs, connected to the lungs and running throughout the body, would have acted like a sophisticated internal air conditioning system, dissipating heat and preventing the animal from overheating. Fact 81. Some dinosaurs may have been cannibals. Fossil evidence for the theropod Majungasaurus shows tooth marks on the bones of other Majungasaurus that match its own teeth. This suggests they may have resorted to eating their own kind during times of stress or scarcity, a darker, more desperate side to their ancient lives. Fact 82. The dinosaurs experienced several smaller extinction events and climate shifts during their long reign. They were a resilient group, adapting and evolving through periods of intense global warming and cooling long before their final demise. Their story is not one of static dominance, but of constant, quiet adaptation. Fact 83. The study of dinosaur brains is done through CT scans of their fossilized skulls. By creating a digital model of the empty space where the brain once was, an endocast, scientists can determine the size and shape of different brain regions. This is how we know T-Rex had a large area for smell, and that many dinosaurs had large optic lobes, meaning they relied heavily on their sense of sight. Fact 84. The smallest non-avian dinosaur known from North America is Hesperonychus, a tiny raptor that was only about a foot tall and weighed less than 5 pounds. It would have been a hunter of insects and small mammals, a nearly invisible presence in the shadows of its giant Cretaceous neighbors. Fact 85. The long tails of sauropods and many theropods were not just for show, they were crucial for balance. The tail acted as a heavy cantilever, perfectly counterbalancing the weight of a long neck or a massive head. It allowed these enormous animals to move with a surprising amount of grace and stability. Fact 86. Some sauropods, like Shunnosaurus, had a small, spiked club at the end of their tail. Others, like Diplodocus, had a long, thin, whip-like tail. It's thought they could crack these tails like a bullwhip, creating a loud, sonic boom-like sound to startle predators or communicate with each other. A sudden, sharp crack in the prehistoric silence. Fact 87. The field of paleontology is constantly changing. New discoveries are made every year that reshape our understanding of the dinosaur world. A new fossil can change how we think a dinosaur looked, behaved, or where it lived. The story of the dinosaurs is a book that is still being written, with each new discovery a new, quiet page. Fact 88. Not all dinosaurs were landbound in the traditional sense. Many smaller feathered dinosaurs were likely excellent climbers, using their claws and feathered limbs to scale trees, either to escape predators or to find food. The ancient forests were a rich, three-dimensional world, filled with life at every level. Fact 89. The largest dinosaur ever to fly, or rather, the largest dinosaur to evolve into a flying bird, was Argentinosaurus magnificens, a giant prehistoric bird with a wingspan of over 20 feet. While it lived long after the non-avian dinosaurs, it is a testament to the incredible evolutionary potential that was locked inside its small, feathered ancestors. Fact 90. The world the dinosaurs inhabited was quieter in a mechanical sense. There were no sounds of cars, planes, or machinery. The soundscape was purely natural, the whisper of wind through the ferns, the sound of water, the buzz of insects, and the calls and movements of the animals themselves. A deep, natural, and profound quiet. Fact 91. Mary Anning, an English fossil collector in the early 19th century, was one of the most important pioneers in paleontology. Despite facing prejudice for her gender and social class, she made incredible discoveries of the first ichthyosaur and plesiosaur skeletons. Her quiet, dedicated work helped to shape our very first ideas about the lost world of prehistoric life. Fact 92. The dinosaur extinction 66 million years ago paved the way for the rise of mammals. In the shadow of the dinosaurs, mammals had been small, mostly nocturnal creatures. With the giants gone, a new world of opportunity opened up, and they diversified into the incredible array of forms we see today, from bats to whales to us. In their ending was our beginning. Fact 93. There is a place in Bolivia called Calorco, which has a near-vertical limestone cliff covered in over 5,000 dinosaur footprints. The tracks were made in the soft mud of an ancient lakebed, which was later tilted upright by geological forces. It is a stunning, silent mural of dinosaur life, painted with footsteps. Fact 94. A species of hadrosaur called Argentinosaurus had a fleshy comb on its head, similar to a rooster. This was only discovered recently from an exquisitely preserved fossil. a reminder that dinosaurs may have had many soft tissue features that we may never know about, lost forever to the quiet passage of time. Fact 95. The heart of a giant sauropod would have been enormous, perhaps weighing over 400 pounds, and would have had to be incredibly powerful to pump blood all the way up its long neck to its brain. The biology of these gentle giants was a masterpiece of natural engineering, quietly and efficiently solving problems of incredible scale. Fact 96. The romantic idea of a lone paleontologist discovering a massive skeleton in the desert is rare. Most major fossil discoveries are the result of long, patient, and collaborative teamwork. It is a slow and meticulous process of searching, digging, and carefully preparing the bones, a quiet dedication to uncovering the past. Fact 97. Some dinosaurs had a different kind of armor. Instead of plates or clubs, Stegosaurus, an early relative of Triceratops, had long, bristle-like quills on its tail. It was a small creature, but its unique decoration would have made it a memorable sight in the Cretaceous undergrowth. Fact 98. The growth of a Tyrannosaurus rex from a hatchling to a multi-ton adult was incredibly rapid. They had a major growth spurt in their teenage years, packing on nearly 5 pounds a day. This fast growth is another piece of evidence that they were warm-blooded, active animals. Fact 99. The legacy of the dinosaurs is all around us. It is in the birds we see, the oil and coal that power our world, formed from the ancient organic matter of their time, and in the very wonder they inspire. They are a permanent part of our planet's story, a quiet reminder of how much the world has changed, and how magnificent life can be. Fact 100. And so, our journey ends. But the world of the dinosaurs remains, locked in the silent stone of the earth. A world of fearfully great lizards, of good mothers, of feathered hunters, and of peaceful, colossal giants. A world that lived and breathed for an unimaginable time, and whose whispers can still be heard, if you listen closely, in the deepest, most peaceful quiet of your dreams.